What would you rather? Earn a higher income now or slowly build your wealth over time? It's not a trick question, but I'm guessing you're watching this video right now because you want to invest into something that can allow you to retire early. So in this video, I'm going to break down the pros and the cons of investing in real estate versus investing in online businesses, and which investment makes more passive income, and then which investment is actually far more passive. Like any type of investing, you can choose to take a far more aggressive approach, which usually accounts for having higher risks, but also higher returns. And then you can go the slower, but usually safer route, which takes less risk, but also has a smaller return. But that said, why can't you have both? Which is why towards the end of this video, I'm going to share with you how I like to combine property investing with online business investing to ensure I can turbocharge my capital growth and my income at the same time. So make sure you stick around for that. Now, I started investing back in 2003 when I was still at school. My dad opened up an investment account for me and I started trading stocks. I then traded currencies, and then I bought gold and silver. I bought online businesses, and I've spent tens of thousands and countless of hours in property. So the pros and cons I share with you today are based on a very holistic approach to investing, where I factor in risk, reward, but also stress. To me, stress is the biggest expense that people just don't even think about, which to me is scary. After all, aren't we investing to make our lives less stressful? So why do so many people make it hard and insanely risky? That's not what I'm about at all. And I'll share with you some of my philosophies as to why during the video. Number one, real estate. Let's talk about real estate investments. First, let's just break them down. Okay, let's look at the pros. The pros to investing in real estate that I actually like is that, number one, it's minimal risk if you're holding for the long term. Even if you are to buy a property at a little higher price than you'd like, just over the market value, then if you are to hold that property for the long term, I'm talking 10 years plus, the likelihood of that property price decreasing is extremely low. Often property in Australia will most likely, and the same all over the world, will usually increase in value by 5 to 8% per year on average. The second pro to investing in property is there's very little work to almost no maintenance. So if you're buying a property investment and renting it out, it's simple to hire a property manager to manage those tenants. And for the price you make in rents, if you buy right, the ongoing maintenance costs like plumbing, electrical, and all that generally don't take much away from your profit or the growth. This means that your property investment can be completely hands-off, which is why property investing is so attractive. Number three, the opportunity to add value, okay? Unlike trading stocks, cryptocurrencies, and commodities and all that sort of stuff, you can actually increase the value of your property by renovating, subdividing, and or developing it. Now, this may cost some extra money, but it will increase the value of the property and the current rental rate as well. Now let's talk about the cons, the negatives to investing in real estate. Number one is there's marginal to almost no passive income. Now, many people don't know where or how to buy property investments very well. So they're either buying negatively geared or they make very little to no passive income. So this is quite normal. Right? That said, there are ways to buy property and make passive income, although it's not much passive income, even if you buy well, and certainly not enough to live off. So you need around 10 properties or more if you were to just to live off the passive income itself. Number two con is that you need a good credit rating to get finance. Yeah, it's really hard to get finance unless you're a really good saver and get paid a decent wage. This is what holds most people back from being able to buy a property. Also, when you come to trying to buy multiple properties, if you're stuck in the same wage, then you can hit a cap. But if you own an online business and you can grow your wage, then the cap isn't as tough as what you would have if you were, say, in a corporate job. The third con is that real estate can cost more than buying a business, an online business. Buying a property costs more than what it would actually cost to buy a business, and it also earns less money. Now let's talk about buying online businesses versus real estate. Now, to buy an online business, the pros are that buying an online business is cheaper than buying property, and you can earn more income. So for a property, you need to have a decent amount of money for a deposit, where you can buy a small online business actually for $10,000 to $20,000 and up, instead of needing like $50,000 or more to buy into a property, depending on what type of property and the size of property you want to buy. Usually buying an online business, you don't need as much capital to get started. The second pro to buying an online business is that the cash flow is very, very high. So for example, when you buy a property, say for $400,000, you're going to make about $400 in rental income, and that will be put back into paying the mortgage. So you're really only getting capital gains out of that property. And if you're very lucky, maybe a very small passive income, maybe $200 maximum per month, if anything, if you bought really well. Whereas when you buy an online business for say $400,000, you're making an average net profit of about $100,000 per year, which is amazing. Because not only can you replace your income for that price of the property, the same price that you'd buy a property for, you're able to work from home or live anywhere. But you can also get capital gains on top of that from growing that business too. So the cash flow is high and the capital gains can be quite high. Now, there are some negatives, of course, to all investments and even in buying online businesses. So one negative is that online businesses have far more environmental risks. Okay, so things can change pretty quickly. For example, when you own an online business, your traffic and revenue sources can be affected by the Facebook algorithm or the Google algorithms, where say if most of your traffic comes from Facebook or most of it comes from Google, whether it's paid or organic, and then Facebook decides to shut down one of your ad accounts, or if it's organic, they decide to de-rank some of your posts in the algorithm or your articles in the algorithm, that can mean less traffic, which is why you need to really stay on top of things if you are a business owner. Another con or negative to buying an online business is that you need to pay mostly cash for smaller deals, and even sometimes for bigger deals, but usually on bigger deals you can negotiate. So the negative is that in the market that we're in right now, most sellers are taking mostly cash offers only, and that's just the norm. When you get to a higher priced business, above 100K, then you can start to do seller financing and earnouts and different deal structures. But under that price range, if you're just starting out, most sellers are going to take only cash offers. The third negative to buying an online business is that online businesses do require more work and more maintenance, usually than a physical property investment. And like owning a property where you can hire a property manager as well to make sure everything's in order, with an online business, you can also hire an operator to do that work for you, but it will cost you, okay? Or you can run that business yourself, which will also cost you in time and sometimes a little bit of money. So they can be passive, but not totally passive. Unless you know how to create good systems and hire and automate certain tasks, then you can have a business that can be far more passive. So what's my conclusion? I love both. At the moment, I'm buying a property, a physical property, real estate investment. Also, I'm always looking at buying online businesses, and I have multiple online businesses in my portfolio. You see, online businesses are a higher income, right? But they can also be higher risk than real estate investments. So if your goal is to purely make passive income and make more cash, buying an online business is best, in my opinion, because it makes much more cash flow a lot more quickly than property. But if your goal is to grow your capital slowly and over time with minimal risk, then investing in property is a better option. Even though that I love buying online businesses, and that's what most of the work that I put in online is towards teaching people to buy online businesses. So personally, I like to invest in online businesses for cash flow, and I like to invest in property for a safer place to put my money for the long-term capital growth. Now, how I like to combine this and cross-pollinate this is what I like to do is I can buy a property, and then after a few years, I can take the equity out of that property. If it grows in, capital growth grows, the property price of that property actually grows, I can take that equity out of that property and reinvest that equity into buying an online business. Now, from owning the online business and from the cash that I earn from that business, I can save up that cash as a deposit to buy another property and then rinse and repeat again. I think these two investments work hand in hand if you allow them. And you can start off by buying an online business first, or by buying a property first. I have clients who are growing their online businesses they bought, working with me and in the community, and are buying a property with the money that they've made from their online business. Then I've had other clients who already own a property and have decided to take equity out of that property to buy their online business. But let me ask you, and please comment this below, would you prefer to generate an income from an online business or slowly build your capital over years to decades in property? Or are you thinking about cross-pollinating and combining it like I do? Please let me know what you think about this strategy below in the comments. Now, as a thank you for watching this far, I'll be giving away $25 towards your education on investing in property, online businesses, whether that be a book or a course or whatever it is. All you have to do is like and comment on this video for a chance to win a $25 PayPal voucher. So tell me, which investment do you think is better? Property or online business? Let me know in the comment section below. YouTube watcher, what's up? It's Jared Krause, and if you watch up until now, please smash that like button. I'm also glad you're really liking the video. Also, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate your support and you watching the channel. I hope you're doing super well. I also want to ask you, please consider subscribing, because my commitment and exploration on YouTube is about to explode. More stories, polls, more amazing content, more education, more surprise and delight. And if you are going to subscribe, this would be the time to subscribe. So I hope you consider it, and I hope to see you on the next video.
Hey YouTube watcher, if you thought that video was good, you should check out this video here on the 2 best types of websites beginners should buy. Or check out my playlist on how I made my first 100K from buying websites and how to do due diligence. Check it out. It's an awesome playlist. You'll enjoy it.